earlier, we're here with state champion Charlie Strobel. How's it going, man?
Great. Thanks for having me on today, guys.
Of course. First question I want to ask you, getting into the rivalry. What is it like playing in one of the greatest rivalries in the state, and some have said, in hockey?
Yeah, it's sometimes it all depends on the person you're talking to, but sometimes it's a little better in the state tournament. Just it's so packed and it's so loud even in warm-ups and it's been going on since my dad played at Hill Murray, that tradition and playing against those guys that you hate. But I personally got a couple guys on that team that I love off the ice, so it's great just to leave everything out there and battle for that ticket to state tournament, and then after that and go hang out and have fun with them. So it's a pretty cool experience.
A quick question I have for you is how much hate do Hill Mary hockey players get for being a private school?
Quite a bit, a lot of times, but it all depends. On our East Metro, we hang out still with a couple other schools, and all depending on who it is and who you're playing. If it's St. Thomas, I'm sure you get we get a lot of crap going on back and forth, private to private school, but other than that, it's not too bad.
Cool. So in that section final this year, I know a lot of people were watching that. They had it live streamed. You scored this late second period goal after being down 2-0. Could you feel the tide turn in that arena when you scored? Because I know watching it, as soon as that puck hit the back of the net and you skated into your bench, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they sustained pressure pretty quickly. They wanted to hop on us right away, but my motto for the guys was just don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, they're not, White Bear respected them. They're always going to bring their A game, especially against Hill Murray, and we're going to try and bring ours. So I think ours was just like, continue to play your game. Don't worry about the scoreboard until those final seconds of the game. So when I popped that one off the backhand, I think that gave the guys a little juice and a little motivation to keep going, and I think we just rolled from there.
Can you please describe, so I played high school hockey as well. I played for Burnsville. I graduated in 2014. Obviously, every high school hockey player's dream is to win the state tournament. You actually did that. I mean, can you describe that experience for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like overwhelming. You have no idea like what to feel once it's finally over. So you're kind of just there, and you're like, I can't believe the fact that I'm a state champion now, since it's so big in Minnesota and around the country. So the experience when those final seconds went off at St. Paul, it was kind of a sense of relief, and I was just in shock that I actually completed what I've wanted since I started playing hockey.
And obviously, high school hockey is very popular in Minnesota. But I guess what I'm wondering is, how were you able to play at such a high level when now, instead of playing in front of 500, 600 people, you're playing in front of 18, 19,000 people?
I think it was just, the help of my teammates. We had a great group of guys this year, especially. And I think, Hill Murray's kind of had the tendency to get knocked off in the first round quite a bit. And, I think this year, for a lot of us guys in the small amount of seniors, we just didn't want that to happen. We were kind of sick and tired of continuing to do that at Hill Murray. And I think, we came together as a team at the right exact time. And once that first game kind of got out of the way, I didn't think we wanted to stop anytime soon. So
you guys were a very well-oiled machine in that state tournament. After that first game, you guys really didn't let off. I'm going to ask you, how was scoring the overtime goal to send your team into the state final?
Oh, that one was crazy.
I mean, that's every kid's dream.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And it was such like, I didn't think that was going to be the overtime winner out of anything. You know what I mean? Michael Fleischacker, or not Michael, Maddie had a great shot from the point, and I, luckily tipped it and slid it through the 5-hole, and I swear it was like in slow motion when I saw it go past that goal line. I couldn't believe it, and I just threw my hands up, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. I'm going to the state championship game, which was the best experience of my life.
100%. So I know you're committed to the University of Minnesota. Did you have any other offers, and what in the end made you choose the U?
Yeah, so, I did have a couple offers. I talked to a couple schools like, Denver, North Dakota. I had a couple others. But I think Minnesota was always on my radar, since like junior year. I do the Minnesota model camp on their campus every summer when they get a couple guys to go out and play. And I think right after the state tournament, they contacted me, and I've always, small talked with him a little bit, but not too much. And when I heard from, Gordon and Raboyne and Motzko, and they, contacted me, and I finally took my trip out there, it just felt like home. And, it's great, especially that it's at home and it's at Minnesota. So my family can come at games on the weekends with my brother. And, my grandpa died of brain cancer a couple of years ago. And at the time he was, my dad was dating his daughter, and my dad was a Badger back in the day, and he always loved the Gophers. And so he'd always, give him crap about being a Badger. So I kind of always clicked in my head. And once I had the opportunity and Minnesota really wanted me and gave me an offer, I took it up, because being a Gopher is extremely special. So it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say really quick, I don't know, I feel like you could have gone to UND pretty easily. The jerseys are pretty similar to Hill. I mean, you would have looked good in a UND jersey.
Go Gophers.
Yeah. It's either one or the other, you know what I mean? It's still a huge rival, and I got a bunch of respect for North Dakota. They got a great organization, but for me, Minnesota is going to be the best fit, and hopefully in the next couple of years after juniors here that I can make an impact there.
100%.
Yeah. Now getting into juniors, we talked a little bit before we went live here, and you were telling us you are going to get drafted into the USHL this year. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I've had 7 teams, contact me, and I'm hoping to get drafted from whatever team. It doesn't really matter to me. It's almost just like I want to make an impact right away and develop strong. Whether it's 1 year or 2, and then to go into Minnesota and be a impact player as a freshman. So that's kind of my main thing. It doesn't really matter to me what team drafts me on Cinco de Mayo, but I just hope, they get me for me. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit of an old school player. I like to play mean and gritty, and so hopefully my style of play fits the team that drafts me pretty well. So
is the draft 100% happening on Cinco de Mayo? Because I know like a lot of people are postponing drafts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's happening then. They'll have like an online draft. So I think my buddy is going to have like a little like draft party or whatever. I got a couple guys on my team that hopefully get drafted with me as well. So we might all get together and watch it and, just have fun and social distance, because all this quarantine stuff that's getting a little old, and I'm kind of getting a little antsy, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, what have you been doing to, keep up in shape? Have you been shooting pucks in the garage, rollerblading around the neighborhood? I mean, what do you do?
It's kind of back to what I did as a kid, rollerblading, stick handling. I go to my buddy's house to lift weights, go to my grandma's house to stay busy, run on her treadmill, and just try and stay active, because it's really tough not having where I train in the summer at called MapSelf.
I did Minnesota Advancement Placement too, Fit.
Yep, and they got an unbelievable staff there that it's really fun to see every day, and a lot of your buddies that you don't see in your high school season that you get to see in the summer it's a great turnaround and experience to talk to those guys instead of all of your buddies from the same school. So it's a great experience. That's why I think it's I'm getting really antsy with it being closed. I want to get back to training and get ready for the USHL.
Is Gino still running Map South?
No, I think it's the St. Thomas's kid's dad owns it now, and it's former ex-Gopher Eric Rasmussen.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yep, like
former Mr. Hockey.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. Develops the players well. Wes Jarovic, they all got nicknames there. Like we got Sean. They got top-notch guys there, and it's fun to be there when you don't even know you're getting better, because you're just having fun out there skating. So
when's the last time you actually were on the ice?
It had to have been at least now. MAP started up a little bit after the state tournament, so we skated there. I think I skated there twice, and then they had to shut it down because of the government. So I'd say maybe a month. Yeah, it's been.
That's probably the longest you've gone in years, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I think it's the longest I've ever gone. So
always on the ice.
It's crazy, but I mean, it is hard, because it's not. I'm not the only one that's missing out. It's everybody too. So it's tough to get those resources in, especially for me that wants to make an impact right away. When I get in the juniors, I'm kind of getting a little antsy to get back, and I want to, you know, get stronger, faster, and get my game going again. So.
Okay, so with you being a U of M commit and you going to the USHL next year to develop a little more, what can Gopher fans expect from you when you finally get to the U? What kind of player will you be?
Probably one, I'd say probably one very rare that they haven't seen in a while. I'm more of an old school hockey player. I think the game's switched a little bit. I'd say I got a little bit of a happy medium of skill and kind of grit. I love to hit. I love to get in the corners and make plays, and, you know, just continuing. I think now it's more of a speed game in college hockey. So working on my speed is going to be
especially at the U with the Olympic sheet.
Yep, which is nice. Which I personally like, because you get more time and space with the puck and to find guys. So just kind of that. I'm more of an old school blue collar hockey player that, you know, my dad, you know, taught me all the way up. So that's kind of what they're going to get.
I'm sure you're not looking forward to conditioning stints at the Mariucci, huh?
Oh, no. It's got to be done. Yeah.
Now, besides your obviously winning the state title takes the cake as your favorite hockey memory, but growing up through high school, other than the state title, what's your favorite hockey memory?
I think one of my favorite hockey memories is probably going to Hill Murray and meeting all those guys right away from my sophomore year to welcome me in from Stillwater. And I had, you know, the best guys 2 years older than me teach me the way at Hill Murray, and guys that I still talk to now that are either in college or playing juniors or doing whatever. It's a family over there, whether people like to hear it or not. And it was top notch right away when I got there. And when I finished, it was the same way. So that was probably one of mine as well.
Awesome. I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're kind of do a segment over here at 10,000 Takes called the Rapid Fire. Pretty much I'm just going to ask you a series of questions, and what I want you to do is just give your response. You can take a little bit of time if you want, or you can just rattle off your answer, but you're ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. Would you rather spend the rest of your life blind or in an Olive Garden?
Olive Garden.
Oh, yeah. If you were given an all-expenses paid trip to Cleveland, Ohio, would you take it?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Want to do the next one?
Yeah. What's it pronounced? Hot dish or casserole?
Casserole.
Yep, there we go. Wow. Actually, you're only the second person to say that.
Yeah.
Wow, we've done a lot of them.
If a movie was made about your life, who would play
you? That's tough. I would. It all depend on how much money they're giving me for them to so I get really whoever.
Let's say we'll just say Mark Wahlberg. We'll do that, huh?
Yeah.
Would you rather have your head be the size of a tennis ball or a watermelon?
Watermelon.
Yep, you gotta love the big head.
Of course.
Minneapolis or St. Paul?
St. Paul. 100%.
In self-defense, how many fifth graders could you fend off if they were coming after you?
Self-defense situation. You're not attacking fifth graders. You're just defending yourself from them.
Self-defense. And it's an unlimited amount.
Yeah.
What do you think your max would be until you were like, okay, I'm overwhelmed?
I'd have to say 75 to 100.
Ooh, I like it. Paul Allen, the Vikings play-by-play on the radio, he said that he could take on a whole school of fifth graders. So,
great.
Would you rather wear a shirt that's kind of itchy, or a pair of shoes with a small pebble in it?
Probably shoes with a small pebble in it. I couldn't stand an itchy shirt. I think
I agree with you there.
Especially if you have a little sunburn, that would kill.
Oh,
what do you think is more realistic, ghosts or aliens?
Aliens now, since I think the government just put out something about seeing a UFO or something.
Yeah, a bunch of video just got released.
So probably aliens now.
One final question. This is probably an obvious answer, but you only have one sport to watch the rest of your life? What is it?
Hockey.
100%.
Definitely the right answer.
Thanks so much for joining us, man. We really, really appreciate it. And we wish you the best of luck on the draft on Cinco de Mayo, and we'd love to have you on in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much, and thanks for doing this with the donations and everything. It's really appreciated. So
awesome. Thank you. Up next, guys,
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you. Up next will be Michael Russo, so everyone tune in. Thank you.